Welcome to the Airgun Show. This week we've got the super-stubby Walther Reign bullpup from Umarex on test. But before that, I'm looking back on some really memorable shots with the Zbroia Hortitsia. Just over a year ago, I started using the Zbroia Hortitsia from Pelpax for some of my hunting sessions. Now, my main intention for this gun was to prove that you don't have to use the most expensive airguns on the market to put quarry in the bag. But this airgun actually proved itself to be such a great little performer that it's earned itself a regular slot in my hunting lineup. So, with that in mind, I thought I'd take a look back over some of my most memorable sessions with this great little affordable PCP. So, let's kick off with a farmyard session targeting Corvids. Up on the next clamp, mate. Let me assure you that there was a safe fallout zone behind that shot. Crows, jackdaws and rooks were piling in to raid a silage clamp, and it wasn't long before I had another chance at them, and this time it's a jackdaw. The session is unfolding very nicely. There seem to be a lot of corvids around, but they are quite wary. I'm reluctant to try the farmer's dusty old crow decoys though, so I'll leave it to the silage to draw them in. Brilliant. Jackdaw off the top of the box there. Longest shot of the session, I think. That's got to be 35 metres. Flopped it straight down. Hit it in the upper body, so it's heart and lung shot, but did the job. The Hortitsia has proved itself to be a great little all-rounder. In the next clip, I'm targeting rabbits on a breezy late summer evening, and here comes a really close one. Well, that was a very close rabbit. It was a real frame filler in the scope cam. I'd managed to find a slightly calmer area on what was a pretty windy day, and it certainly proved to be the right place. Here's another. Well, that is turning out to be a very productive spot. Regular viewers will know that I do a lot of grey squirrel control. Here's the Hortitsia helping with the job on a cold day. Winter woodland is one of my absolute favourite shooting scenarios, and it's a real joy to be out here today. And the high level of squirrel activity is a real bonus. I love getting out in the cold, partly because it puts a real edge on the squirrel's hunger. Here's one encountered during a roving session. Just as I'd expected, the squirrels are out and about around the pheasant feeders. And here comes my first chance to bring one to book. I decided to settle down to see what was happening at the feeder that had attracted that squirrel, and it turned out that plenty more were visiting it. Here's one of them.
The weather has been cold and these squirrels are hungry. Consequently, another one soon creeps back out to steal grain from the feeder. In fact, several have turned up at once.
Those squirrels just kept on coming. Here's another one of them. On the log stack, mate. Grey squirrels' greed often proves to be their downfall. Here's one from a feeding station in woods where the invasive rodents had been wreaking havoc by bark stripping young trees.
It's turning out to be a long wait, so I'm having to be a lot more patient today. Patience is usually rewarded when it comes to hunting with air guns though, and I know from the rate that the peanuts have been disappearing that there are still squirrels to be had here. And, sure enough, another one eventually puts in an appearance.
Let's finish back where we started, ambushing rabbits. I don't like to stretch my hunting ranges any further than I have to, but this was a memorable shot with the Hortitsia.
It's gone well so far, but I reckon we could still get more from here, so I'm not moving on just yet. And sure enough, another rabbit eventually creeps out. This one's a bit further away, but it's still within range.
So that was 10 memorable shots with the Zbroia Hortitsia. Let's hope there are plenty more to come. The Zbroia Hortitsia there proving that you don't have to spend a fortune on an airgun to consistently put quarry in the bag. And now, it's the Airgun Show news.
This is the Airgun Show news. Tonight we bring you a special report from the Game Fair at Hatfield House. The biggest event in the countryside calendar, the Game Fair wasn't blessed with summery weather, but it was packed with field sports enthusiasts of all kinds, from airgunners to ferreters and clay shots to gun dogs. It's an event that sets the agenda for the coming year, so we roamed the aisles to find out what the biggest talking points were. First, we saw the launch of a safety campaign aimed specifically at airgunners, the Airgun Sports Trust.
It's basically a safety campaign. It's brought out by AMTA and by the GTA. Airgun safety is an issue that's been cropping up. It doesn't crop up all the time, but it does crop up occasionally. And it's those occasional issues that get big press coverage. And we want to avoid the occasional issue in order to give airgun ownership and airgun use and airgun sort of stuff like that a good name, a better name. We've got 3 slogans which go under be safe, be secure and be better, and they're pretty self-explanatory really. Safe you are with an airgun, usage, the safer you are, the better you are storing it with security, and the better you are just in general. You will be a better airgun owner, better airgun storage, better airgun shooter. It's a brand new initiative. I'm in the process of building it up as big as I can, with obviously help from AMTA and the GTA. They've been really good and really helpful so far. The best way to get any information or even get in contact with us is head to our website, which is www.airgunsportstrust.org.uk.
Another organisation we dropped in on was Basque, who told us what we all need to be doing to stop the general licence fiasco from ever happening again.
So the first thing is know your law. So general licenses, part of the pressure we got was the fact there's far too much on social media with people blatantly not understanding how general licenses work and their responsibilities. So read them, understand them, abide by them. That's message one. Message two is the next pressure we've got in at the moment is about game bird releasing. So that there's Wild Justice again have then used their legal mechanism to put pressure on DEFRA about releasing game birds. So how we protect ourselves is download the Code of Good Shooting Practice and those 5 golden rules and know them, because I bet if you have a walk around this show, not many people will be able to tell you what the 5 golden rules are. That's the problem. Yeah, we need to know what they are, because they're the things which keep us safe. So basically, don't just talk the talk, walk the walk. Make sure you're sustainable. Business as usual from a certain perspective, but not enough people understood general licenses and realised they're an annual thing. You need to read them. And still, yeah, so that's a good conversation topic for people to keep in mind of. And we have consultations running in Scotland at this moment in time. We're expecting one in England shortly. So, you know, this one's going to run a little bit longer, so people need to be still switched on about general licenses and about pest control.
Enforcer Decoys were another company affected by the general licence revocation. They told us what they're doing to bounce back.
But a lot of people come on saying like the harvest is on, pigeons are hitting the crops now very hard, learning the pest controls. Of the GL fiasco, some farmers are still uncertain whether to let the lads on the land and shoot their pigeons, which is a bit annoying to the lads who's got the permission, but I suppose if we put out all the positive stuff, what we're doing, of the pigeons controls, all the damage they do, and the amounts of thousands of pounds of costs every year we go to the general public, it's only a good thing for us, really, isn't it? For the shooting community in general, just from crow shooting to pigeon shooting to shooting grouse, pheasant, living pheasant, we put billions into the economy every year. So if if that stops, people going on, well, basically on benefits, because they're taking jobs away from gamekeepers, pickers up, beaters, obviously pest control, inner cities and in the countryside as well. So we need to put a positive view across the general public out there to show what a job we do, not just in the countryside, but obviously in cities and towns. We've got to stand up for ourselves, we've got to carry on doing what we're doing, which is legal. You know what I mean, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing in our pest control, all our game shooting. We've got to be proud of what we do as well. We don't want to be hiding what we do. Because if we're seen to be hiding what we do, which is a legal activity, people think we're hiding it for the wrong reasons. So we've got to stand up, we need to stand up for ourselves and fight back.
Moving on to new airguns, we got to see the latest in the FX Dreamline range.
The Dreamlines are based around the one action. You can have the gun in basically different guises. There's 4 here. I do believe there's going to be more models coming in. You can do the barrel changes, so you can change from 177 to 22. In FAC you can go 22, 25 and 30. So you can change the carbon cylinder. You can change the stock, as you can see on here. This is the bullpup. This one's the tactical. This is the Dreamline Light and the classic look, which I do believe will be available in wood at some point. Barrel changes are the same as the impacts. They all come with the new X-barrel system. They come with a power adjuster. They're all regulated with a regulator adjuster on the FACs, and they also come with a fine tuner. And we will try to fulfill everybody's order, but they've just got to be patient if you could.
On top of Thomas Jack's impressive night vision tunnel and viewing platforms, there was affordable NV on show from Yukon.
So it's a brand new model, brand new this year. These are our first samples. In fact, they landed with us almost 3-4 days ago. There's 2 models. There's going to be an N450 and an N470. It sort of fits in between the Photon and the DigiSight. So your Photon's your entry level unit, and your DigiSight's your top end sort of night vision unit, and this sort of fits comfortably in the middle. So on the N470, base mag 6 times, and then it'll bump up through its mag ranges all the way up to 24 times, and that's quite a step for Recon and Pulsar, because that's the highest that they've sort of reached. So price on the N470 is going to be $889 suggested retail. For what you get for a night vision unit, it's budget really.
And Nightsight told us all about their new range of thermal images. including spotters, scopes and even front-mounted units.
So it's been a really good show despite the weather so far. So yeah, we've got the range of Night Pearl thermal products. So we've got some handhelds, some dedicated scopes, and then the one we've got here, which is a front-forward thermal add-on. Clips onto the front of your scope and turns your scope into thermal. So they've been going since about 2009, mainly across Europe, and then it was sort of the beginning of this year, about May time, where we decided to sort of start distributing for them into the UK. So they've got a couple of models of the front forwarder, depending on people's circumstances, whatever they need. Some dedicated thermal scopes if people are wanting that option, and a range of handheld ones for spotting. So everywhere from your basic one, which starts at £1,000, right up to the top of the range, £3,800 one. So we've had plenty of end users coming by, sold a few units, loads and loads of interest, and yeah, we've had quite a few retailers, current ones that buy the night sight products that we manufacture, and some new ones as well that are interested.
One accessory everyone's talking about is the Wicked Light's Recon tripod, and we got a demo of it in action.
What we have here is the new Wicked Recon tripod from Wicked Light. It's very light, very manoeuvrable. As you can see, we can adjust the gun in many different directions, and it holds various different sizes of guns. Excellent piece of kit, especially for long stands, foxing, shooting, things like that. People are just amazed at what it can do, and how versatile it is, and the many different positions that you can use it in. You use it prone, you can use it standing, especially a big hit with some of the older people who don't really want to be holding a rifle for a long time. You know, it's we actually had a guy here who was partially disabled earlier on, and this was right up his street. He really, it's kind of what he's been looking for a long time.
Finally, with wellies in demand at the fair, we stopped by the Ariat stand to see what's new from the footwear giant.
It's raining hard as we talk, so in particular we're talking about the Burford Wellington boot. This has our ATS sole technology, so lots of comfort underfoot, strong durable natural rubber, and this one's got a neoprene lining as well. So we're getting people to come and try that on, and once people get it on their feet they really like it. So that's our Burford insulated welly. In particular we're talking about the Defiance Catalyst. So last year we were here, we got a huge demand for people asking for female sizes in a really great hunting stalking boot. So we're launching the Catalyst Defiant, packed full of all the same features that you get in the men's version. The whole story with Ariat is we've been around for 25 years, durability, comfort, and products that are really built for the consumer. This is the Burford insulated zip. This hits the market in November. So same great features where you have the ATS Pro insole, so really good cushioning underfoot, the insulation from the neoprene, but this has also got an aerogel lining as well that gives extra insulation, and that's a real innovation for Ariat.
We'll be back next year for the Game Fair 2020 at Ragley Hall. Until then, that was the Airgun Show news.
There's a real hunger for bullpup airguns at the moment, and Umarex has thrown its hat into the ring with the Walther Reign. This German-made offering has a recommended retail price of £799.95, which certainly promises good things, and it's styled in a way that looks both futuristic and functional. The ambidextrous Reign is housed inside a black synthetic stock that feels like it should stand up to some pretty tough use. One feature I really like is the fact that the air tank is housed inside the forend of the stock, which certainly gives this gun a very distinctive look. The forend also features an integral rail for quick and easy attachment of accessories. The stock is of a thumbhole design, and the cutaway has plenty of room for large hands. The pistol grip has a nice steep rake, which makes for a comfortable hold and good trigger attack. Both the pistol grip and forend feature patches of multi-directional stippling, which is very grippy and ensures a secure hold. It's a chunky stock that really fills the hands, and I think it's all the better for it. The cheek support is great. Not only does it provide good alignment, it's also nicely rounded, which makes it very comfortable to nestle down into. The chunky rubber butt pad at the rear of the stock provides plenty of contact with the shoulder. The Reign is a real lightweight, weighing just 2.5 kilos unscoped. The review gun came supplied with quite a large scope that does look a little bit out of place on a gun that measures just 68.5 centimeters from end to end. However, the extra weight of a hefty scope does help when trying to hold this little gun on aim. Length of pull is just 32 centimeters. I'm over 6 feet tall and have pretty long arms, but I still found it comfortable enough to shoot. Umarex tends to make pretty tidy air guns, and the build quality of this one seems to be up to their usual standard. The barrel has a nice matte black anodized finish, and it's threaded to accept a silencer. Now, fitting a silencer is going to compromise the proportions of this very compact airgun just a bit. However, I do think it's probably worth fitting one if you intend to use it for hunting, because it does go off with a bit of a crack. Visible engineering that isn't hidden by the Reign's synthetic casing looks to be pretty cleanly finished. The long dovetail scope rail provides plenty of clamping space for scope mounts. Now, some bullpups can tend to feel very slab-sided because their rails are so high. However, these ones are actually quite good. The top of the rail is about 4 centimeters above the center of the bore. This gun runs a very neat magazine that's 11 shot in 177, 10 in 22 and 9 in .25. The fact that you can slot it in from either side is a really nice touch. This well-designed magazine seems to be very kind on pellets, and it's also very easy to load. It pulls out when the side lever is pulled all the way back, and then you simply drop each pellet in and then turn on to the next chamber. It even has an arrow to help you ensure that it's pointing the right way. Cocking and loading are taken care of by a side lever mechanism with a great drop down handle. It's nicely positioned well forwards, and its positive back and forth motion manages to feel slick and robust at the same time. It's a nice piece of engineering that provides quick follow-up shots in the field and rapid fire plinking on the range. Umarex states that the Reign is regulated, though I don't know what mechanism it actually runs. Consistency is pretty good though, and variation was about 15 feet per second over the first 40 shots of the fill. Muzzle energy is around 11.5 foot-pounds, and the 177 caliber test gun returned about 130 shots from a full 230 bar fill, and you can expect about 180 shots per fill in 2.2. Air pressure is displayed on a clear and well positioned gauge on the side of the stock, and filling is via the port that's next to that gauge. Simply pull out the plug that keeps dirt and moisture at bay and push in the supplied probe. Triggers on bullpup airguns aren't always great, but the 2-stage unit on the Reign is actually quite good. The only real snag is that you have to remove the gun from its casing to adjust it. Thankfully, the one on the test gun was set up pretty well straight from the box. The first stage has a fair amount of travel, but it comes to a distinct stop before the second stage brakes surprisingly crisply for a bullpup. There's a manual safety catch positioned just above the trigger, far enough away not to concern me, but close enough to operate easily. It's a cross bolt mechanism, and it's safe when it's pushed across from the left. You then push it back across from the right using your trigger finger if you're right-handed when you're ready to take the shot. So that's the features that have been crammed into the stubby frame of the Walther Reign bullpup. Let's get on with the usual target test and we'll see how accurate it is. Well, that's not a bad group. So that's 5 shots at 30 metres, got a bit of a breeze, but still got to have fallen within about 10 millimetres from centre to centre. One thing I will say is that it's quite a pellet fussy gun. I've settled on Daystate Rangemaster Sovereigns in the heavy version, and it's grouping very well with them. Certainly well enough to confidently tackle live quarry, though as I said earlier, you'd probably want to fit a silencer just to give the stealth a bit of a boost. So, that's the Walther Reign from Umarex, a neatly styled bullpup that boasts a great magazine-fed side lever action and crams a heck of a lot of features into a tiny package. It may be small, but it's also very tough, and I can certainly see it appealing to hunters who want a light and compact airgun that can cut it in the field.
Look out for the new and improved Airgun Shooter magazine, packed full of technique, gear and insight from some of the best shooters in the industry. Brand new look and free video content. Pick up your copy today in stores or online.
That's all for this week, but we'll be back again in a fortnight. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you aren't already a member of the BASC, have a look at their website and check out the benefits you could be taking advantage of through Airgun membership.